Is that new group set who's it been? I don't know. I don't refer to that Volvo van. Volvo? Yeah. This one? Is that after one?
There's a car coming as well. You missed that one, look. There's a car coming down. You didn't warn me about that. Thought you were here for my safety. Tut tut. I could have jumped out in that road then and been run over. And then you'd have been responsible for that, wouldn't you? Because you are responsible for my safety. So how much of a start would you give me? Start?
Right.
If I decided to run into base, would you? How many seconds?
Hurdle over the barrier.
How many seconds?
None whatsoever.
Would you rugby tackle me?
You'd probably beat me then.
Yeah, I probably would.
Yeah.
I aren't wearing my sports bra, so I am at a disadvantage.
We should do a sports day up here one day.
We are going to do.
I thought you did. You were going back and forth, back and forth. Yeah.
No, proper one. We can play baseball here and see how many balls we can hit over.
No, that was that week we were dancing. Do you remember? And you were getting really pissed off. Yes. Interesting, isn't it?
It would have been helpful if they'd followed, if Sergeant Burst, I say at the end, had said right at the start, well, it's different tonight, we're doing this and this, you know what I mean, we're going to push you back. You know what I mean?
I don't think he was in a good place himself, was he? No. I'm quite worried about him, actually. And I do worry. We do, don't we? I just said I'm a bit worried about you. We're worried about everybody, aren't we? Concerned about everybody's welfare, because we care.
Right, it's coming down.
We're crossing over.
I ignored the first one.
Sorry?
I ignored the first one.
Is that a new one?
It was someone else. The other one went past earlier on when you covering your camera speaking to Ken.
You're quite concerning, that, wasn't it? I'm a bit worried, actually. What did that guy say that come out at base?
Which one?
About the police officers on how many?
No, it was a cyclist went past and how many police officers for one woman.
It's amazing, isn't it?
But the one to your right though is trying the whole divide and conquer.
Oh God,
That'd be
I know.
nice to me
I
and
know.
awful to everyone else.
You've got some that facilitate better than others. That's what we have to kind of rely on. Yeah. There's some that are more gentle, and there's some that know things.
Well, the gentlemen tend not to stay around for that long because Wilson doesn't like them.
No.
So makes you wonder what kind of person he's when he's at home. You know, if this is the kind of thing he enjoys.
I don't know. Yeah. So when are you going to sort all this out then?
Me?
Yes.
You actually think?
When are you going to get them all? You know, get them all in for a cup of tea, and we'll just get on with it like we used to do before. Because there isn't really any need for all this, is there?
There's 3 ramps.
We're hardly When have you ever known me be aggressive,
No, I would never say.
violent,
Never say that.
no, swear,
I've never had to swear.
no, offensive?
No, I haven't really done so.
No.
Offensive, no.
So I'm not really a threat, am I? I'm very peaceful.
Yeah.
So does it really justify somebody getting right stuck into me and pushing me like that? It's not, is it?
Well, you're answering my question.
Yeah. And actually, have I ever thrown myself in front of a car?
But you
We step back.
No.
No, we need to step back, please.
No, I've never done that, and you know I haven't.
Okay.
No, but you did walk out in the
I'm allowed to walk out in the middle of the road,
traffic.
but there's no law to say that I can't do that.
Obstructing traffic.
No, it's not obstructing. It's not obstructing.
You were obstructing.
No,
when you
I would never obstruct. I know all about obstruction, and you know that I know all about obstruction.
New gearbox needed.
Now, when I want to obstruct, I will obstruct, and I can do it. But I'd find a better way to do it. I know a better way to do it, don't we, Neil?
Oh yeah. I still think that idea we were talking about last time on the way back. We really need to do that.
What? Right, Neil.
Like a photo bomb. Not quite sure who's bombing who.
Like I said, we need the suitcase as well. It just wouldn't work without the suitcase. We'll plonk it in the middle of the road.
But they'll get wary with me in suitcases, don't they?
No. No, we have the suitcase that's open so we can see it.
Yeah.
Oh, we've got a right from test drive. Not sure when we're going to do it yet, but
We've got some good ones planned.
we told Sarah about that idea of killing
Yeah.
this week.
That might make you smile as well. But you've got to get it under control. You've got to go back and say that this isn't good enough. It's not good enough in manhandling people, is it?
You've admitted you don't think tonight's gone well. You've said that to me.
I've never admitted it.
We've had best nights, haven't we? Better nights than this. Do you remember when we all used to have tea up there?
Yes, indeed I do.
Yeah. And we used to stop the cars there, and there were never ever any problem with her. Mike Finlayson,
Yeah.
yeah.
I know.
Tea and cakes. He used to fetch cake up.
Yeah.
Things are now.
I remember that time though that somebody brought some elderflower cordial in a wine bottle.
I remember that vaguely, yeah.
Right, and it was really cold, so we were sort of watering it down with hot water. And I don't know how it had looked up there with Mike Finlayson stood there with a wine bottle.
Is he?
It must have looked bad for old Wilson, mustn't it?
Absolutely agree with you.
Absolutely. But yes, it needs sorting, because you know what, you put in your own officers under undue stress.
And
Because when you're in a situation like this, you're working in brainstem, and it's not healthy, is it? You should know that. You should know that. Your amygdala's pumped. You're releasing all those dangerous hormones. You're in fight and flight. It's not good.
As I say, the superintendent's
But you're gonna have to do something.
me.
Yes. You have a duty. You have a duty.
I don't
You
have that
keep
time.
saying you have a duty for our safety. You have a duty for your safety of your officers as well. But for the safety of everybody in the whole world
I know.
and children.
Indeed.
I hope you're not patronising me like that. No.
Does that sound patronising?
Yeah, it did
Did it?
actually.
Sorry.
Bye, traffic exit in.
Right, can we step back, please?
You did agree with it. You did agree. Well, actually, you said, I won't disagree with you, is what you said. To be specific, which would imply that you do agree.
Actually,
Yeah.
do you want me to do some training? Some training, yeah, in pace.
And that's not police and criminal evidence.
No, I can do some for your officers in pace. That's what I do. I teach it, yeah.
Nice one.
Yeah. Mention it. It's probably good. It's a really good way of self-regulation,
I
self-control.
need to explain what it is so they're
I
not
think
thinking it's police
I'd
criminal.
guessed it.
It's playfulness, acceptance, curiosity and empathy. And it's a way of being. It's a way that we work therapeutically with children that are dysregulated, that have got a neurodevelopmental disorder.
Special educational needs coordinator.
Right. Yes, I meet a lot of them.
The Senko.
I have to teach a lot of them about this. Sorry?
Poppleton in York.
Okay. Yes, I have to deliver training to them.
Would you like to step on there,
Because
please?
65.1%
there,
of our
please?
young people
Okay, let's step back.
are being locked up in custody, aren't they? 65.1%, and they are known to have a neurodevelopmental disorder. So that's good. And who's locking them up?
The police.
Yeah.
Just watch this car coming out for us, please.
That didn't work, did it?
Well, I think Axel's on the wagon at the moment, isn't
Yeah, well, seen it before time.
So,
I'd have loved to. I've seen Slash. In fact, I worked with Albert Revolver in 2004.
What is it? Photographer?
No, it's drum set.
Oh, no.
But I'd have loved to have done singing classes.
What, back in the day? Or do you
Both.
mean this day?
Both even now.
Too young.
They're releasing a new album later this year, though. I think it's back end of this month, I think, or next month. Appetite for Destruction Reloaded is what it's called. The new track from it. And they've re-released Appetite as well, digitally remastered. There was Axel Slash, Dizzy Reed on Gilbert or Easy Straddler. Easy Straddler in the club at the moment. Either Steve and Adler on that song. I don't know who the guys is.
So, this is how it is. We've still got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Is that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and a gunman. And one is the sergeant. And I was told earlier that the reason why we had so many police officers was because they were on changeover. So we still seem to have a lot more police officers than probably what we should do. It's probably a little bit of overkill. So this is the difficulties that we encounter and the untruths that we're told as well.
Car coming out.
There's a car coming out apparently. So I couldn't hold my flag again.
She thought I was security. And her friend said, "Do you know who she is? Do you know who she is?" I said, I don't care. I'm not stopping you doing anything.
Okay, can you move there, please?
I get the same as you. Anybody standing with the big securities. Don't know why it's like that.
Put that down.
Maybe she's walking on the police uniform.
Even when I got a leather jacket on, and I'm socially, you got to stand and speak to your mates who's on the bag, and next thing you know.
I just wonder how awful it looks for some of the children that are coming out when they see that they're pushing. It's not nice, is it? That's further trauma that they're putting children through. I think the reality is they've no idea what this place is complicit in, have they? The link to Yemen. Terrible. Terrible. So how many times I've been obstructed trying to hold my flag up? Evidence of that. The cones, if you notice where the cones are. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And what they're saying now is that we have to be in line with the cones, so you can see that there's a difference between the white line and the cones.
You know, it'd be funny, did it? Next time you read out that whole thing about the protest, you know what you should do? You should come out with a little scroll and just read it, you know.
Yeah, like that. Like a thing, tire.
Yeah.
Hear ye.
Stand by.
Can we step back a little bit? Please. Thank
There we
you.
go. Thank you.
Thanks very much.
You didn't move me back at all there. I don't know. I think you just like the sound of your own voice. Very ineffective. Very ineffective.
On again.
Have a nice evening. You were trying to tell me that I couldn't walk up and down on the road.
Oh, can't you? Okay.
No, apparently not.
Well, they should arrest you then, shouldn't they?
I know. He's alright now, isn't he, Ken? You think he's alright now, aren't they? I think he's calmed down a bit. I was just a bit. I was actually worried about him.
Okay.
I don't.